And then I started, learning about entrepreneurship, studying about entrepreneurship. I'm like, okay, wow, I should start reading books. So every single day after the office, I would go to the bookstore and I would force myself to have the habit of reading, So I would start reading every day. Then I would start going to the gym every day. Okay. And then I started looking around. What business can I start that requires the least capital up front? Where can I start from where I'm at? So I don't have to, like you were saying, risk everything all up front. And how can I start the most leanest way possible? And for me, that was e-commerce. For me, that was e-commerce. I started working in my office. I would start building stores in my office. And then, my IT director, I remember.
And what you were selling?
So first I was selling anime products. Because I'm an anime nerd. I love Japanese anime. So that's what it was like, what do I know really well? I know anime, I know the audience. So let me sell anime products. So this was drop shipping, right?
Yeah.
So I started there and it started going extremely well. But mind you, I started 10 stores before I landed on anime. I did lots of stores, lots of different businesses before I landed on anime. And then after that, I started a hair extension business.
So did you fail in the previous businesses?
I failed at so many, but I tried to start an app. I tried to do, what else did I tried to launch all these different products and all these different stores. But again, the e-commerce was the least resistance. Anyone can start a small subscription online, start selling products very, very quickly, And the moment I made I remember I sold a pair of dog socks. It was socks for people's pet dogs. And it was like $25. And I was like, wow, I'm going to be rich. Like I sold $25. But it was my first time I realized, wow, I can make money outside of my job. And once I got that light bulb, it was like, okay, then one thing to the other thing. And then I started a hair extension business. Then I got into other things, real estate investing and all kinds of different things. But I would say you have to start taking risks. If you're a young man, your youth is like the ultimate asset that you have. All you have is energy and life force,
I agree.
Utilize that. Start taking risks. You have nothing to lose. Just try as many things as possible until something fits and you can start making some money and start doing that stuff. But also design, if you can start implementing my like quantum life earlier. So, because what happens is it's harder for people to change later in life. When you're 50 years old and you decide, oh, wow, I need to improve myself. It's a lot harder to teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
So start when you're young, when you're not so programmed and you're settled in your ways. Start changing your mindset then. Start taking risks then. Start shaping your habits and changing who you are and become the best version of yourself early.
So you have more control on your decision making.
So you have so much more control. You're going to go 10 times farther in life for young entrepreneurs. Listen to this podcast, Go to networking events. I remember going to so many different seminars and networking events, and now I get to speak at them, So it's amazing what happens if you just have to keep putting yourself out there. Start becoming that version of yourself early.
So why do you think some of the entrepreneurs or some of the budding entrepreneurs who work in the company or solopreneurs who are running businesses by themselves, a feeling of, I could say, a very unfulfilled feelings, Like I find them very locked, especially the ones who are just starting, or maybe there's some feeling of, okay, I don't know whether I should really start, a feeling of very insecure mindset. Even though when so much of, data is given on social media and been promoting or motivating them to start a business, why do you think they still feel? Is it again the limiting belief? Is it again the same stories?
That's that, because they don't have enough wins in their mind to feel like a winner before they start. They're trying to start businesses from a place of lack.
Or is it that I was going back to your subject, or is it that they are not ready to embrace failure? Because when I looked at your story, you said I failed and I embraced failure and that kept me going.
Yeah.
Or is it that they're not ready to embrace failure?
Now I understand, I did at that time, I was doing it the old way because I wasn't self-aware. I was doing lots of failure and pushing and grinding. I was doing it that way. What I recommend though is if you do it the way I know now, I wish I knew what I know now back then, because back then I would have become the most successful version of myself first. and had the thoughts and beliefs that match the life that I want first. And then I would probably make way less mistakes that I did. So it's important to learn from people who've already walked the path. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you can go out and try to do it yourself and make mistakes like I did, or you can learn from someone who's been in your position where I felt stuck. You know, I didn't know what business to do. I felt insecure. I felt like, oh my God, like I'm just gonna try different things and hopefully something happens. Yes, you can do that way, but you can also do it, come back, get into alignment, know what you want, do a business that aligns with the life that you want, and then go from that direction, as opposed to just trying. I didn't start Dog Socks because that's my life, my dream life. No, it's because that's the only thing that was in front of me and I didn't know what to do. But if I knew what I know now, it'd be far better to get into alignment first and then start doing different businesses.
So if you would have got another opportunity to start over again, what would you do differently?
You know, I have no regrets. First of all, I have no regrets. But if I could start again differently, number one is that I probably would have started a personal brand really early. You know, that's one thing I would have done differently. And I would have reprogrammed my subconscious mind before I did anything at all. I would have first evaluated my belief system about myself, created the habits to strengthen my belief system, and then I would have acted from that place. You know what I mean? I would have started taking actions when I had the belief systems in place first. Because when you don't have the belief systems in place first, your actions are going to not be strong, they're not going to be impactful, and it won't take you as far. But if I had the belief systems in place first, and then I acted out of that version of myself, I would have been 10 times further.
Wow.